Mate, I'm just drinking a cup of tea while the Pedro music plays for a minute. Taking a chill. Oh my fucking god. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Klaus. Pressburger. Oh, Pedro is such a nice dude as well. He's the most humble man I've ever met. He's so kind, so friendly. Sonic, I remember what you were saying. That's rough, dude. Oh. It better be a big pot this time. I haven't looked at the metrics of that kind of effect, so I'll look at it later, actually. I'll do that sort of shit as soon as I've recovered from the CitizenCon stuff that I want to do, which will be middle of next week, probably, on Thursday. Ask me again that in a minute, Frazzle, when this music's finished. We'll talk about some stuff, then we'll go through the questions. It's a good question. We'd like to bring order to the world. Then we get it all taken away from us. Hello! Hello! How's it going? Oh no, they need headphones. Oh my god, CitizenCon, eh? That was good! They didn't fuck up! Then there was more they wanted to show us as well, and they didn't. I was watching JD's stream. Jeremiah Lee, one of the head concert artist, I believe. He does some amazing stuff for CIG. And he was saying there was stuff that they wanted to show us but couldn't. And, yeah, I was very proud of CIG when they had, I think, one minor fuck up when they tried to switch to the microphone to Ulf, and a couple of times, and there was just no audio. And they went, "Oh shit!" And they handled it very well. It was a very good presentation. It was. Thank you very much, Noob. It was a very good presentation. It was a very well done event. It was a proper fan fest. I was excited as fuck. It was great. It was great throughout. I was shattered during the day, really fucking bummed out as well. I was a little bit, obviously I'm bipolar and get quite bad anxiety, and I was really bummed out and pretty meh the whole day, because oh, I wish I was there. Oh, they're giving out Octane drives. Oh, they've got Saber Ravens. Oh, they've got these cool stuff. And I was like, I really wanted to go so much to just be there. I love socialising. It would have been amazing. It would have been probably the best event that is the best event that CIG have ever done. So definitely have to go to all of the rest. And very jelly of anyone that did actually go. But the presentation itself was fucking great. We'll talk about that more in a second. Obviously, they've done the Intel sellouts, exclusive shit. We'll talk about the Saber Raven as well. We'll talk about Procedural Cities. We'll talk about My Radar Weather. We'll talk about all the stuff they showed, Xi'an language and all that. I might try and learn that when I've got some time. I might actually try and learn that on Tuesdays while I'm working at Oxfam. Something I can have on a podcast. Just calm down. Lots of things going on. This Procedural City stuff is amazing though. So the video you're seeing in the background, even though there's loads of text over it, is the Procedural City stuff that they showed at CitizenCon. Now, the cool thing about the Procedural Cities is that this is an Earth-sized planet, and they covered it in city, and they can form the cities to look sensible, so they can have different districts, industrial. It's like playing SimCity. They can build them like SimCity. They can have them procedure generated entirely if they wanted to, but they have a little bit, because they've got such powerful tools, so they've been building all these tools, they can craft it a little bit quite easily and very quickly to make it look sensible and reasonable and cool, and like a city would, like a big city planet. They can also do the internals of these buildings as well. Now, potentially, they could do the internals of every building. They're not doing that. That's madness, because they don't need to. They're obviously going to do all the hero zones. There's going to be lots of areas that are fully fleshed out with internals, but they're not just going to procedurally generate the internals of everything. They can do it, but they won't, because there's no need to do it. You get lost on there. There wouldn't be any tangible content. They need that flavourful hero content as well. But the fact that they can procedurally generate... Oh. Yes, exactly. Someone's just posted the Sean Tracy statement that he made on it, where he basically says exactly what I just said. They can do the interiors of all the buildings, but they won't, because that would be silly. Here you go. Here it is again. And I totally agree with him. Like, I was like, that's amazing that they can have fully explorable cities. And they can. They can have large, massive areas of this city explorable. And the fact that they can use this tech to put a city down on a new planet, on unexplored planets, with new alien races or different alien races, or Banu, but different colony of Banu you might not have met, or just little cities on planets, and then have those cities with partly fleshed out internals, or for some of the villages entirely fleshed out. And it's all part of this modular outpost system and modular, well, procedurally generated whatever system. They can jump in with these powerful tools after they procedurally generated stuff, or just with the tools to procedurally generate stuff to find boundaries, and then have this high quality experience. It's insane. It's fucking amazing. I can't believe how far they've come with it. I saw it in my studio tour, the early procedural city tech. I had no idea where they weren't showing us it, because I was pretty impressed at the time. It was pretty simple, but I was pretty impressed. And how far they've come with it in a few months is just staggering. I mean, one of the things that's an issue is that they do keep on showing us these great things at every CitizenCon and all these events, and they kind of need to. It's every one of these events is basically their E3, and they have like 3 or 4 of them a year, so they need to show off new stuff. Now, CIG can definitely be accused of increasing the scope of the game, it not being the original game on Kickstarter, because of Procedural Planets, because of the massive change in scope, because of the MMO and separate nature of Squadron 42 and Star Citizen and stuff. Yeah, but they're making some amazing things, and this is why I'm assuming a large percentage of it's backed. It's definitely why I backed the game, and why I continue to support it, and why I make a channel on it. It scratches all my itches. Destiny 2, already, a little bit starting to bore me. I've just about to hit 280 power level in that. There's going to be some raids, which is apparently, people say, honestly, the raids are the best part of the game, so fucking great. Cool. But I get bored of stuff very quickly. I haven't got bored of Star Citizen yet as a project, and I haven't even started playing the full release, you know. So there was definitely some cool stuff shown at CitizenCon. They didn't disappoint. They showed new biomes. They showed the procedural cities. They showed the internals that they can procedurally generate as well. They showed flora. They showed fauna, even though it was just the little oni crabs. They showed NPCs in large numbers, although they're still a bit derpy. Much better than they used to be. I saw a couple on seats that were just standing on a seat, just looking around. But they're able clearly to get hundreds of NPCs in a game now. And it kind of almost outdates 3.0 before we get it, doesn't it? It's like, we want 3.1. Well, we haven't got 3.0 yet. But very soon. Very soon. No, Destiny 2 is not boring at all. It's repetitive, but not boring. In the same way that Dota 2 and like those kind of games are repetitive, but not necessarily boring. I was not at CitizenCon, unfortunately. Fuck off as well, gaming log on. I won't pay you to say that, mate. But yeah, I unfortunately couldn't go to CitizenCon. It was very, very deeply traumatic. I was getting prepared to go the day before, just in case I could go. It was 50-50, and I just couldn't. It was too much of a faff. So sorry for anyone that wanted to see me. I wanted to see you too. Also, I just wanted to generally be at the event and try and catch Octane drives as they fucking rained on the audience. I say that, one got thrown out, and there was 150 extra ones given away as golden tickets in bags. So I want to talk briefly. We'll go into questions in a minute. I'm sure there's fucking millions, but I want to go over some of the stuff first. I'm going to bring up this. So you can buy a couple of things if you weren't at CitizenCon. These were given away at the event if you had a CitizenCon ticket. Some hanger flare and the Castek Arms SMG, which is the actual. You actually get the SMG and the skin. I don't know, unfortunately, whether or not they have lifetime insurance. I am going to assume that they do, and because CIG have not stated whether they do or do not, and they cost $5, $6 because I'm in the UK with 20% VAT. I'm going to assume they have lifetime insurance because they're a gun. So I decided to use this. Thank you very much, Simmer TV. You're a fucking legend. Yeah, I'm going to assume they've got lifetime insurance, but I'm not sure. You wouldn't want to lose something like that, would you? Like that's a trophy from CitizenCon, and you don't want to have to keep it in a glass case all the time. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But I'd assume they have lifetime insurance. That sort of stuff. In the same way, and I'm hoping that your CitizenCon trophies have lifetime. Oh, what if they don't? Oh, fuck. We'll find out. We will find out. But if anyone wants to see the CitizenCon flare and stuff, and is a collector, then you've got that. There was lots of cool stuff. So we saw the opening address where they talked about the Saber Raven. So let's talk about the Saber Raven first. I have stuff about the Saber Raven. So Intel have teamed up with Star Citizen more officially. They seem to be sponsoring events and helping CIG out at Gamescom and stuff like that. They now have their new Optane drives, which aren't cache drives. These are big drives, 240 gig, 280 gig, 480 gig. No, it's 280 gig and 480 gig drives, and they come in U2 format, which is like the server version of M2, and in PCI Express as well. And they are very expensive. They in the Americas they range from $400 all the way up to is it $600, $400, $380 to $600. But they come exclusively with the Saber Raven, and I'm not sure if you can get the Saber Raven in game in any other way other than getting it off a player. Oh, thank you very much, Zephyro. I know, it's fucking amazing, isn't it? It was very impressive. I'm not sure if you can get the Saber Raven any other way, unfortunately, other than off another player that's got one, or by buying an Optane drive. So that's a bit of a shit. Because if you look let me link that review of it, and let me link this page as well. So if you buy one, this is the page they send you to. This is the page they send you to. So you go have a look here. It says you've bought a new Optane drive. Great. So you get your Saber Raven, which is exclusive to Optane driver owners, and you put your code in there, and you get your free Raven. There's no way of sending back your Optane. If you send back your Optane drive or something after you got your Raven, they will delete it from your account. Apparently, they will be able to do that, and that would be some form of fraud as well, I assume. So please don't do that. Yeah, it's just I don't like the idea of an exclusive ship. I do like the new ship matrix though. Let's have a quick look at the Raven. So the Raven. Boop. Let me link the Raven. The coupon code is if there's new beginnings, all in caps, will give you $5 off at a ship, allegedly. So keep that in mind. I will chuck that in the description below as well. So this is the new ship matrix. Let's have a quick look at the Saber Raven. It's quite pretty. It's a very pretty ship. And it's just a stripped down Saber that's more infiltratey, is the idea. It's only got 2 size 3 weapons and 2 size 4 Maxoc burst EMP generators, which I originally thought were missiles, but they're not. They're actually big EMP generators. Not entirely sure how those Trollmag Maxoc EMP generators work, but I'm assuming they disable targets and make it harder for them to fight you. The ship isn't a one-on-one super dogfighter, but it will definitely be able to hold its own in a dogfight. It's high tech, and it's got 2 size 3s. It's going to be fucking agile. It's going to be super stealthy, so it'll probably get first strike. And it's got those EMPs, and we just don't know how the EMPs really work to be able to judge whether it's going to be great in a fight or not. But it's semi-exclusive, if not entirely exclusive, which is odd. The only other ship I can think of that's exclusive is the AMD Mustang Omega. Is it Mustang Omega? The Omega, yeah. But it's an odd one if it is. Hopefully I'll be able to get one. I'm buying an Octane drive. It's just Octane drives in the UK. The small ones are £600. It's $390 in the Americas. So at the worst, I'd assume that would translate to £380. But no, I don't know what that is. So they actually come out officially on the 30th, and I assume the prices will drop then. So this is just some sort of odd pre-order issue in the UK, because I'm not paying $1,000 fucking dollars or £600 for one of those drives. That's ridiculous. Right. So what else? Yeah, so I can look on Newegg, but they only have ones in America, and it won't allow me to send them to the UK, and they're all entirely sold out at the moment, which is annoying. You can get the small one. Dakushira. Anyone that has a link that definitely allows me to buy a Octane drive in the UK, preferably the PCI Express one, to the 280 gig one, probably the small one. I mean, I'd go for the large one, except I want it for review. Obviously I want the Saber Raven as well, because I love Star Citizen, and I want, look at my Saber Raven! Where everyone goes, fuck you, exclusive ship. But I want to review that Octane drive. I mean, that's the most important thing to me, really. I want to review that. I want to be able to say they're not worth getting. But I will happily say the other if they're really good or something. I'm sure they're great for high-end gaming. With a game that is all about no loading times, yeah, other than when you first load into the game, why do I need a drive that allows me to load quicker? For high-end gaming in general, fucking win. Yeah, totally agree. But for Star Citizen, when I've got 32 gigs of RAM anyway, do I need something that does that? And maybe I do. Maybe it does give better performance or make stuff snappier. Or maybe my RAM gets saturated or something, but I doubt it. But I want to review them and give it an honest opinion. Hopefully, I was hoping that Intel or CIG would send me one. Give me things! With that Star Citizen in the title, let me review it! But I suppose it's because I'm not paid by CIG or fucking Intel in any way. I need to retain my ability to be neutral and be able to say things like, I don't think that those drives are a good idea. But I'll buy one and see. Yeah. 99.9% of people can't feel the difference between Octane versus NVMe. That's a possibility. There's going to be the drives are going to last 10 times as long. They are going to help me if I'm talking about recording directly onto them. If I'm doing animation, compiling and coding, stuff like that. So for me, for my workload stuff, not gaming related, it's going to be great. For loading times into games, which have large loading times like NS2 and stuff like that, yeah, they're going to be fucking great. You're going to bam, straight in there. Even probably Destiny 2, actually. Any games with 2s in them have long loading times, I find. It might be. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on whether they're good or not and worth the money or whatever until I have one. I suspect they are the best SSDs that you can get, but they're just heavily expensive. And they're for top end enthusiasts. But we'll have to wait and see. I've read all the other third-party reviews already, and I've just I literally need one in my hands. They haven't been playing Star Citizen on it. They probably haven't been playing the 3.0 either Carty on it, stuff like that. So there was some cool other stuff actually. I want to go into this. So they've updated the peoples that make these, the lovely fans. They've updated the ship size stuff with the new ship matrix sizes. I'll link that in chat there. but it's pretty cool. Because you get to see how the ships have grown in size. So you get to see the actual size of the Caterpillar properly. You can see some of the other ships that have grown. The Merchantman's fucking huge. The Orion's massive. They've got the Pioneer at 200 meters. We'll talk about the Pioneer and base building in a second. I've got the Endeavour at 200 meters as well. It's I thought it was just pretty cool. Fucking huge ship. The Javelin's like 480 meters or something now. We will review all of those ships in the ship matrix and do a proper ship flyers guide again soon. I don't think that the two 960 Pro Evos in Raid 0 are going to be faster, though. Or maybe they will be. I don't know. Maybe they will. We'll have a look. We will have a look. But let's get rid of that. Oh, for people that didn't have the brochure for CitizenCon, here's the brochure. I'm sure some people will be interested in that. It's a piece of history. I'm hoping that someone has brought me back one, or the CIG can give me a brochure, because I was unable to attend CitizenCon. But I did have a ticket. They gave me a ticket away to someone. Maybe they'll give me theirs. I'm sure someone will have a spare one. I'd like to get these. I'd like to get all the event-based stuff, because they're cool. But it just goes through all of the cool stuff that was at the event. And these are little pieces of history, all done in lore as well. I just thought it was cool. And the discount code at the end, New Beginnings, gives you $5 off ship. So, people that want that, I think that'll be useful to you. That's the Saber Raven. That's the Octane drives. Xi'an language. So I'll just go over this quick. You can learn Xi'an now. It's a Britton Watkins, the Klingon man. He literally made the Klingon language. He made Xi'an as well, and he's making the other languages, Banu and Vandal, and all that sort of jazz, so they're actually real, speakable, understandable, readable languages, and they've now released the guide on how to do that, and that's a dictionary, but there's a video up as well, talking about Xi'an, talking about how to learn it, and you can learn it in some easy steps. It's not just like chuck you in, read all this, it's videos, and like you would learn a language from a idiot's guide sort of thing. It's really fucking cool. For people that really, really love that sort of immersion and want to learn, it will give you some in-game advantages learning it. You'll be able to read shop signs and stuff when you're on Xi'an planets. You'll be able to understand what other Xi'an are saying as you pass them. You might see some occasional lore and encrypted text and stuff that might lead on to loot and more missions by understanding the language. So they will give you little tiny advantages and cool, and like, oh fuck, this is cool, this is immersive. I just love the fact that it's... I just love the fact it's a real language. I'll have a go. I'll have a go at learning it, but I'm dyslexic. I'm not very good at languages. I'm having trouble with German at the moment. So, for those of you that want to learn that, good on you. I'll just probably learn a couple of phrases or something. So the Pioneer. Is it sold out yet? Is it entirely sold out? Let's go to the bottom here. Okay. So with the Pioneer, these are base construction ships that allow you to... like the modular outposts that we're going to have in 3.0, you're going to be able to build them, but you're going to be able to build them, and they're going to have functional uses. Thank you very much. Oh my god, why do you have such odd names? Kapat Matcha. There we go. It's like reading Xi'an! They're going to have actual functional uses, the bases you build. So you'll be able to build mining bases, do research labs, storage, hangars, lots and lots of different things like that. Actually, we'll go through the list in a minute, because I've got... let's go back to the chat. I've got the engine trails. Ooh, pretty engine trails. I do have somewhere the slides from the event, which will be very useful. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Where would I put them? Would I put them in here? Probably. Yes, I would have put them in here. So let's go back here. So, at the moment, they are going to have base building with... you're going to be able to build habitation modules, armories, storage, med stations, mining and refining stuff, hydroponic stuff, gas extractors, ore extractors, solar panels, moisture extractors, geothermal, heat pumps, landing pads, turrets. But expect more than that as well. They keep on evolving that idea. I'm really excited for pretty much all of those options. I like the idea of functional bases on the ground. That I can go, great, I've got my moisture ore extraction It's going to literally be making money. They talked about land claims as well. Literally, you will be having to do research on the land that you want to build on, because you want to know what raw materials are there. You want to know if it's close to any other people's bases and facilities. You want to work out how much land you can build on and how much it's going to cost you and that sort of stuff. If you're in UEE space, you will have to buy a land claim, and that will also mean that the UEE will protect you effectively and give you the protection of the UEE in your area, and it'll be a relatively secure base, much easier to keep safe. You can, however, for better risk reward, or because you're an outlaw or whatever, or because you don't want to pay the UEE, go and just place your base in a sector that's in zero-sec space, effectively. Somewhere in Vandal space, or in zones that don't have any security. And you can build a base there, not necessarily, and no one might ever find that base unless you give them the coordinates, but they're not going to be as safe. But you're not going to need that land claim. You are, however, going to need to do research on the land. So you're going to need to find out, survey, and what materials are here, what can I build here, I've got my gas extraction running, and I've a refinery running, and I'm refining loads of gas, and then I've got a landing pad here as well, and storage, and I'm going to pick all that stuff up and take it away every so often. Thank you very much, Geek the Freak, fucking legend. I don't fucking know anymore. This beautiful picture was made as well by Saurus during the live stream. This is me if I had hair and I was at CitizenCon. It looks like I've got an earring there as well. I don't know why. But yeah, it's that's what it would have looked like if I was at CitizenCon. Thanks for that, Saurus, or whoever made that. It was beautiful. Thanks. What else we got? We know that the Kurthak are actually going to be in-game properly rather than just a race mentioned as well, because they showed slides of all the races they had. Now, there's the four main ones, obviously the Vandal, the Banu, the Tavaran, the Xi'an, and then obviously the Kurthak as well. Obviously humans, and not forgetting the humans. So what was I going on about? Oh, I skipped past what I was saying about the Pioneer. Sorry, my brain's a bit scatterbrained. So with the Pioneer, you need materials to build your modules, and they're going to be different materials based on the module. Then the ship literally opens up. Let's actually chuck you back on that screen. The ship literally opens up, and will construct, I think, up to 3 modules or something inside it, and then store those modules for placement. You're going to need the right materials, as I said, and then you can place them on the ground. I think it's going to be a really fucking cool job. And you're going to be able to go like, pay me, give me the materials, and pay me some money, and I'll happily build your base wherever the fuck you want, sort of thing. I think that's going to be a service that people who've got these ships will be able to do for other people. They are massive, they're 200 meters, they are going to have some weapons and protection on them, but they're not going to be the most safe ship to fly around the verse. People are going to want to pirate and attack them, definitely, especially if you're building in zones that aren't UEE protected. Like, it's going to be a dangerous thing. These are very valuable ships. I'm very excited for the gameplay. They've got a landing pad on as well, and it's just a big ship. It's just a fucking cool mechanic. Base building. We knew that they wanted it in the game. We didn't 100% know how they were going to do it. And this is the game changer ship, 100%. This is and exactly what I thought it was going to be. A little bit more functionality with actually fully functional bases. And bases are going to work like ships. They're going to need power. They're going to need life support. You're going to be able to build power generators and that sort of stuff. And you'll be restricted by the amount of area that you have, by the money that you have to build, get the materials, by literally getting the materials themselves, and by you not necessarily wanting that base to be visible. So if you build too many power plants, it's going to be much more detectable by space. You can hide pretty much in plain sight on some of these huge planets because they're so large. And there's so much space as well that you're not going to have to worry about other people having all of the great outpost positions. But I suspect we're not sure if you can destroy bases. I'm assuming you can. I'm assuming it's destroy rather than capture, but you could capture them. But I'm assuming that they're going to be very destroyable rather than invulnerable. But yeah, what else we got? What else did I want to talk about? That's the interiors. Oh, I loved the Hurston, Planet Hurston, with its totally different vibe and atmosphere was cool as well. It showed the different procedural city stuff. Pioneer, got base building. We've got the My Weather app. If anyone wants to check out the moons of 3.0, so Yella, Selin, and Daymar, they can with the My Weather app, which has the simulated weather data as if it's real on our app now, which is cray. I just thought it was an interesting thing. I'm assuming that's going to be made into a Mobigas app in game, but the fact you can do it outside of game, and that other companies like Intel, like MyRadar, taking Star Citizen extremely seriously, I think it's pretty cool. So check that out if you're interested. I'll do a review of it or something. We'll mess around with it at some point. The production schedule also happened. I mean, so they're still moving on with 3.0 and beyond constantly. There's 17 bugs that they need to fix in the current shopping, cargo, and trading kind of gameplay loop stuff that the Vicardi are going to be working on. And it's going well. It's just CitizenCon's been there. I suspect that these will drop rapidly next week, and hopefully we'll start to move into what I'm assuming will be the mission and subsumption spate of bugs that they want to fix before a quick polish over everything, and then release the first wave PTU. So not too much longer to wait. They've been doing some good stuff. One of the other things they talked about a lot at CitizenCon was optimization for the future. They did say that CPU-wise, they will be trying to push Star Citizen onto as many cores and threads as possible, as wide as possible, so they will start to optimize for that. Vulkan integration, which they wanted to focus on originally, doesn't entirely rule out DirectX 12. I thought it was going to, but they basically said we can still work with DirectX 12 as well. So that's cool. Assume that nothing is carved in stone when it comes to Star Citizen. It's whatever makes the most sense and what looks the best and works the best is going to be used. We will move on to questions in a second, and we'll just go through a fuck ton of questions. So anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh my god, yeah, okay. So this is definitely what I want to fucking talk about. And we will go over here, and we will play someone else's video. Is this... Cool.
Sinking into the ground. And the surface of the...
So, I'll turn off the audio for it. So this is basically their movement system, their IK system for feet and legs and animations. They effectively have procedural animations. Well, I say effectively, they do. They have procedural animations. It generates animation frames based on the needs of the character. And those are, when walking over terrain, whatever, it works out where it should place your feet, it works out how to not clip your feet, and it deforms your body so that it's walking on the ground, and then procedurally generates that particular movement frame for you for that animation, which is fucking awesome. It looks really good because of the shadow and everything there, but you move sensibly over terrain. You do little jumps and hops over little gaps, and we can see here, like, so they're showing off. I mean, he's a little bit floaty there. He did float a little bit there, admittedly, but the idea is that it deforms to the terrain in a sensible manner, giving your body weight. It makes your feet not clippy, and it just looks great. The way they walk over terrain, the way your body deforms, the way it slows down, speeds up, and that works for little hops and jumps, little stones and stuff that are in the way. It works for stairs. It's one of the probably understated things that was shown at CitizenCon that was just like, fuck me, that's good. I was going to say it's quite subtle, but it's not. It's... I mean, obviously they're still working on it, so there's still a little bit janky occasionally, but I think it's so impressive. Like, this is next level shiz. It's going to make fights over City Frame. Combined with the footsteps, leaving footsteps on the ground, and then jumping over and running over rough terrain. So let's see him go over the little ledge.
I'm going to buy so many spaceships.
I think that's so good.
Love all your videos, mate. Keep on killing
Oh,
it.
thank you very much, Riptide. O'Reilly. O'Reilly. However you pronounce your name. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Going towards the incredibly expensive price of fucking tame drives. Jesus. They better be really good. Oh, he did a sexy little face there, didn't he? I just like the way the body moves and deforms. The upper body arms, I think, need slight work. But yeah, I was very impressed with that. If anyone wants to see that particular video, it's there. And if you want to see the full CitizenCon official playlist is there. I chuck one on my channel as well for people that want to see my summary and my gaming cut of anything. Every major event I will do, and this is what we're seeing in the background now, a gaming cut that I will do of any proper gameplay or gameplay demos they do. CIG they do the great things, but they have too many faces. They have too much talking. The volume and the audio is not necessarily the best. They don't have sharpening or contrast done correctly on the streams. So I'll cut it into something that I think is more viewable, and it just makes more sense. Always do that. I think those look cool. I loved CitizenCon so much. Right. Is there anything else before we move into questions? Let's get rid of that. So every month we're going to have a featured org on my channel. This month's is Stellar Enterprise, who donated the Constellation Aquila with P-52 and Ursa and I'll link them here. But they're going to be linked and shared in all my videos. And next month it's going to be Matadors, who will be doing an organisation spotlight as well. They are donating a stupid ship because they are have no idea how to pace themselves when it comes to giving away gifts. So thank you very much for that to Ventator and Matadors. But we will talk about that starting in a couple of days. So the face over IP stuff I didn't see much of from CitizenCon. A lot of people on the floor had good experiences, I heard, with it, which is quite exciting and cool. And they were able to go into a room with 4 other people and talk and move around in the 3.0 plus patch. I did buy a Pioneer, and my plans are to make content on it and explain how base building works, how to make it efficient, how to make UEC out of it, the differences between doing it in UEE space and zero sec space. And the full mechanics and how to make the most of it. That's what I want to do with every ship, especially industry and economy ships. I want to go through all of that kind of gameplay with that. There are going to be significantly better combat pilots than me, so I will team up with a couple of them to explain combat mechanics and how scrubs, such as myself, were able to learn that and get better combat into the game for ourselves, learn to be better pilots and that sort of thing. But I'm never going to be the top pilot. I can, however, be the top or very high in the understanding how the economy works and making guides on that so other people can understand. So that's what we've got to look forward to. That's what we're going to do with all of the ships, the Endeavour, especially like the Endeavour, the Pioneer, just everything we can find. Right, I think that we should go into questions. The questions! If you want to ask a question, it's preferably about Star Citizen or CitizenCon, put it in brackets, question. If the mod times you out, I've got an auto mod on, and I do have a couple of mods in the channel. Apologies, it's just that you were saying something was offensive or being a dick. Is Eva Carty for work or entertainment? It's a chore. It is work. I mean, the Eva Carty stuff is work. It's cool. I love it. But it's work. I haven't been able to do it much recently because of CitizenCon, because of my new rig, because of stuff I'm doing on Destiny 2 with some people. But it's work. It's work for all the Eva. They just, some people love doing that. I'm going to be playing probably when I film with a keyboard and mouse almost always. I will have a HOTAS, and I will be using a HOTAS on some ships, especially the larger ships. I'm not that good as a combat pilot with a stick and with a HOTAS. Even with the mouse and throttle, I'm not that good a combat pilot. I'm much better on a mouse and keyboard, it seems. I was literally testing it the other day. Did they say you needed to finish? Did they say you needed finished materials, or will the Pioneer be able to convert raw materials into building supplies? Oh, I mean, that's a good point. I'm assuming you needed finished materials in the Pioneer. It didn't have like a refinery in it or anything, though it might have a small ability to do that. I would expect that you need fully formed materials and specific materials as well. Just keep that in mind. The variant that they're selling at the moment does come with materials, so that if you buy it now, if you've got one in the sale or whatever, they do come with materials on board to build some buildings. Once the NPC tech is fully done, do you think we'll be able to go around getting into fights with them, or push them in GTA? Yes, I think that we will be able to push them, get into fights with them, technically kill them. I do think that there will be security as well, walking around that will shoot you or try and arrest you and stuff. So not so much. It's not going to be action-packed like GTA, because I think that if you do something stupid in public, it will be a very quick end to you. But yeah, when subsumption's done, and when the AI is done, and when they have the 24-hour schedules, I think there's going to be some cool stuff you can do. I also think there are going to be some more outlawry missions in UEE space that will be murder this guy stealthily around a corner or whatever. And you're about to do stuff like that. Do you think the name-dropping the Kerr fact during CitizenCon means that we'll see something more of them at the holiday stream? Maybe. I would suspect that they fleshed out a lot of lore for Kerr fact, but maybe not the look of the race. But I don't know. In the tech demo, what was the gateway above Hurston? Not entirely sure. I'm assuming it's so that you can get to the main landing zone quickly. But I'm not sure. I'd assume it would be a actual truck stop rather than anything else, or that strip that he had, rather than a jump node or anything. But I don't know. I noticed on the flyby of the platform where the guys say, CitizenCon 2947, there's a Razor parked next to him. Will the Razor be flyable in 3.0? I don't believe it is. Although it was it certainly wasn't listed as being, but they did shove it in game, didn't they? So it is finished pretty much. Maybe. I was very much going on the information that they said, basically that it wasn't going to be, but it looks like it is. The Saber Raven is in 3.0 flyable, so maybe the Razor will be too. Are we going to be able to buy ship weapons with Alpha UEC in 3.0? Yes, ship weapons and ship systems. And in 3.1, you're going to be able to rent and buy ships. Gaming Log On, it's called Nomad Black, my org. I will open it up for the public a bit more once I've... basically, just before 3.0 goes to Wave 1 PTU, the plan is to get my org a little bit of attention and open it up so people can join if they want to, but it will be for specific people that want that kind of gameplay. I don't mind being filmed and aren't dicks. And that have to kind of fit in with what I want to do if they want to be that. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. You think the Reclaimer will be bearable to pick or salvage the Pioneer Cube buildings? I don't know if you're going to be able to salvage on the ground with the Reclaimer. I think you're definitely going to be able to go onto the ground and bring stuff into the Reclaimer back to salvage. But I'm not sure if you're going to literally be able to nom up large structures with the Reclaimer that are literally on the ground. I'm not sure if it has that functionality. It might do. It might be able to like grab things, but I don't know. So we'll find out more about the salvage mechanics. I would suspect there will be some ground-based salvage vehicles that they will put into the game. Some sort of big drilly thing that will be able to go nom 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 nom. I'm new to Star Citizen. Can you explain the November ship sale? So the anniversary sale, which is in November every year, typically they show off some cool stuff for like a couple of hours. And there's a big ship sale with loads of the limited ships. That is the November ship sale in a nutshell. They'll typically have javelins for sale, very small amount. Idris for sale, slightly larger amount, and then loads of the limited ships come back on sale. They'll probably have a new concept sales again, because why the fuck not? It makes them money, it makes them dollar, and there are a few ships that they've got planned that are pretty cool. Do you know what about the device that can safely freeze your body until 3.x with arc corp traps? No, I do not, unfortunately. Fridges and freezers aren't cool enough. Or maybe they are cool enough. Maybe they kill you. Do not try and freeze yourself. Avenger Warlock or Saber Raven, we don't know much, but do you have a preference? I think they're both going to be cool ships. I mean, I want the Saber Raven because it's more exclusive, and I know that makes me an elitist dick, but you know, fuck you. I just want the ship. I think that I will play with the Saber Raven, because I'm going to get an Aptone drive, and then I'll probably give it to my mate Deathcore, who wants to be a little bit more, or what suits his playstyle. Oh no. Are you excited about gas planets? Yes. The gas tech and the smoke tech they've been putting into the game, and still haven't finished, looks amazing as it is. and is getting better and better. I think the gas planets they're going to get for the Crusader, for Cloud City in Crusader, it's going to be fucking awesome. And for gas mining and stuff as well. If your ship gets disabled in space near a planet, will gravity pull your ship into that planet? So gravity is fully simulated, and it is the closer you are to the centre of the planet, the more it will suck you in. I don't know exactly at what distance that will happen, so possibly in your situation. There is the potential for that to happen, though. Can the Pioneer build permanent structures? Yes. Well, as permanent as someone can either blow them up or steal them. We don't know if they're going to be destroyable or not, but I'm assuming they are. But yes, they are effectively permanent. They're not going to despawn when you go offline. They're going to be suitable for bases. You're going to be able to defend them with NPCs, and with turrets, and with other ground defences, and that sort of stuff, and with players. I just wanted to let you know I've been talking with Steve Bender, and he did mention that they were going to work on procedural arms and upper body. Fucking fantastic. So with the animations, with the eye cable stuck to the ground, they are going to be working on the upper body slightly more. I mean, obviously everything's going to be tweaked more. It was super impressive as it was. Will Arc Corp have interiors all over the planet, or just for specific landing regions? So they have technically they have the potential to have the entire city planet with interiors. They're not going to do that because that's insanity, and there's no point. So you're going to have it for hero landing zones, and you'll probably have it for other areas as well, just so that you'll have a large explorable ability around you. Don't expect miles and miles and miles of interiors, because it's just no one will ever visit them. There'll be odd edge cases around them. There'll be bugs and stuff. They will do large explorable interiors though, and they just have the engine supports it. So the idea is that they can plop a city on a planet that's a new planet that they go, after release patch 1.2, let's release this new system and let's have a new alien race, or humans that have broken away from ages ago and been separated, and let's place some cities down and let's do the whole interiors for these cities as well. They can do that, but they'll do it in a sensible fashion so that they can have hero assets, so that you don't get what's it called, art fatigue, when you look at something and go, I can see the pattern. This doesn't make any sense. You want stuff to look sensible and interesting and highly detailed, but also have that unique hero flair, which is one of the things that takes them the longest. Like the statue they've got at Levski, Terra Tower, stuff that is like a unique particular thing, whether that's a small object, or whether that's a huge statue, or whether that's a massive building, and that's the thing that takes them probably the longest now that they've got all these tools done. Will bought items stay in inventory or disappear with every update? If you buy them with Alpha UEC in-game, they will disappear with every update. Alpha UEC is for testing, and Alpha UEC purchases will disappear. If you buy it from the website, or with real cash money, or with real UEC that you've bought with real cash money, then those will stay in your inventory. The same with Rec as well. Rec will not be deleted, as far as I'm aware, at any point, because the system is separate. So the stuff that you've rented with Rec for Arena Commander and for Star Marine will remain persistent in your account between updates. Unless that changes, something like they have to update a database or something. Sorry guys. Will the Aurora LN do cargo in 3.0? I know they've been working on the cargo boxes. I know they've updated the ship matrix with the cargo boxes. The idea is that Auroras can take the store rule cargo crate, which is multiple, has space for multiple SCUs of cargo. I'm not sure if it's working in 3.0. Don't expect it. It's a possibility though. They'll get it in if they can. Otherwise, it will come in as probably a small little update straight afterwards or something. If not, then by 3.1. They are moving on to a quarterly release model. So the plan is now, and we have heard this before from CIG, so take it with a pinch of salt, although this time I think they have got their scheduling down a lot better, that every 3 months is the idea. Quarterly, they will release whatever they've got as patches. They're not going to be driven by anything else other than dates. Obviously, they're going to have stuff that they want to get in those patches, but they're not going to massively delay anything like they did with 3.0. 3.0 is a very unique patch in the fact that it is effectively the full foundation of the game. Everything else can be built upon that. There aren't systems that need to be in place to put other systems in place, typically, for any of the other mechanics. So this is the bare bones, this is the start of it, this is the proper start of the game. And it caused that 10-month kind of period where we were like, fuck me, we're waiting. Which is annoying. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about, that was cargo. I went off on tangent. Do you think the cartoon owl will ever become more than target practice? Yeah, they'll balance it so it's good in certain places. Yes, I'm always excited about the gas plants. Yeah, I'm excited about the gas plants. We talked about that. Fuck. Did they say you needed to finish? Yeah, we've talked about that. Can you clarify a point made in the earlier broadcast on server meshing? You mentioned that they will go to a model with a max of 1,000 users. Is that true? No. So, they're going to server meshing. The idea is that everyone can be on exactly the same shard, and that more servers will spin up because of object container streaming. It will literally go deal with these players in these sections, and technically they could make object containers as small or as large as they want, so that everyone could be in an instance together and fight on capital ships and have these big capital ships battles. And the tech they're using will break it down so that it all works effectively. And smartly, so everyone will be on the same server, and you could potentially, although you couldn't, you potentially have 1 million people in the same area. Though that's stupid, wouldn't happen. But the idea is that the servers would spin up to break all these things into smaller and smaller blocks. What I said when there was going to be a max of 1,000 users, as I said, if for some reason server meshing doesn't work, or they can't get it working as intended, they will go to the next best possible thing they can do, which would be ghosted servers, where there's the God AI, everything happens on all of the servers, effectively. If you kill a pirate, it gets broadcast to the God AI, and it goes, all the instances get updated with this. But you could have, potentially, just like 1,000 or players sharing the same space, and then another 1,000 sharing the same space, but they couldn't see each other. That was a potential thing, because, you've got to be realistic with your expectations. There are things that might not be able to happen, although I actually think them not being able to do server meshing is a very small probability now, after the stuff that I've seen and been privy to during office tours and stuff. They are constantly improving the network optimization stuff. Server meshing is something they're going to be starting on probably towards the end of this year in earnest, or early 2018. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how it goes. We'll keep on it. But I'm expecting everyone to be in the same server and it be very cleverly done. If not, then we'll still have a great game, and they'll do the next best option. How will CIG deal with limited add-ons such as the CitizenCon SMG and advocacy tools, which can be used and lost in-game? I'm assuming that some of those things that were bought with real-life money will have lifetime insurance, because they're quite small little items. But I don't know. We will see what CIG say about them, because lots of people ask that question now. Can I hire a pioneer to come build a base for me? Yes, that is going to be a totally legitimate job. You'll probably be able to do it from an NPC as well, but I will, for example, you can hire me to build your base. They will do that. That's one of the gameplay things that I want. Will Bengal carriers ever be able for players or orc use? Yes, there are going to be Bengal carriers occasionally in the verse that can be repaired, that are derelict or whatever. And you'll have to blow up the UE's Bengal carriers. You're going to be able to take them off other players. You're probably going to be able to have, at the extreme org level, be able to commission Bengal carriers for civilian use. So yes, there will be Bengal carriers. Everything. You possibly eventually will be able to get a retribution. But that's probably distant future. The procedural city planet that they showed, that was ArcCorp, and then they showed Hurston afterwards, which was the more sparse one. But some of the buildings seemed generic and repetitive. Yes, they did at the moment. What do you think about that? I think that they still need to work on the building sets for them, and they are. They are going to look a lot less generic. They're going to be a lot smarterly done, so you don't get art fatigue, so you don't notice patterns. But at the moment, just having how fucking amazing they looked was pretty impressive. Yes, they do need to make it better. They need to make it better at the mid to close range stuff. From far distance, it looks perfect. I mean, as we're seeing here, this looks fucking amazing. The fact that that's all there, that you can see some of the clouds have got reflections there, which makes them look very orange and yellow. Just that those circles with the lines coming out for the main part of the city, that's so sexy. And it's there, it's visitable, it makes sense. That's just insane. Is Squadron 42 going to include free roam sections of the story? I believe that Squadron 42 is going to be set... It's gonna... I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I know that's from studio tours and drunken devs. Okay, let's say this in a way that doesn't get me in trouble. I think that Squadron 42 is going to be free roam on your ship that you're on, the major capital ship, but that's going to be typically your home. So you're going to be on capital ships most of the time. You're not going to be able to fly out on your fighter large distances because you're in the military. You're supposed to stay within your military bounds. You've got things that you have to adhere to. And then you'd go rogue. You'd be like, oh, you've gone rogue. GG. So there'll be missions on planets. There'll be missions on cap ships that you've got to go and assault and stuff. And you'll run around. And you have freedom to do that. And when you're back on your Bengal or your Idris or whatever, you're going to be able to wander around, talk to the crew, chill out. But I think that's all going to be... It's going to be confined to that. It's not going to be freeform Star Citizen, because that's what Star Citizen the MMO is about. Yeah? I don't think I can get in trouble for that. Since they showed us, can we travel around ArcCorp, do you think Earth will be similar? Yes. They haven't talked much about Earth, which leads me to worry that maybe Earth's been destroyed or something in Squadron 42, but I doubt that. Yeah, Earth and Terra are going to be similar. Especially, they're going to be giant city planets. Obviously, they also need water and stuff for Earth and Terra, which they are working on as well. Water's going to be fully wave simulated. We probably will have boats in the game, maybe even submarines. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff they're doing. They talked about mines and things as well. There's going to be mines for space, land, and water. So, will massive ships like the Bengal carrier ever be available to players? Yes. We talked about that. I've got back from work. Sorry if I'm asking something that's already asked. Do we have an update on this week's testing? Yes, we already do. 17 bugs left in the current spate. I suspect that the bug count to drop very, very rapidly now that they're back from CitizenCon. So this week, expect them to be down to pretty low amounts. And then I suspect they'll be moving on to Subsumption AI and the mission system before then moving on to a Polish Pass and then going to a PTU. So you don't have too much longer to wait until we have first wave PTU. We don't have any actual release dates, though, for 3.0. So Gravity is or will be fully simulated. I think Chris said it is fully simulated. But they do a lot of stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean it's simulated in the way that's entirely accurate. They are going for fun and gameplay over accuracy, although they do want some realism and some accuracy. Will there be more Pioneers buyable with store credit this week? I doubt it. They sold 2,000 in total, which were war bonds to Concierge. They were all war bond, which is no store credit. There was 1,000 sold with store credit on the official sale, and then there was another 1,000, which they've got down to about 500 left or something, with war bond. So I doubt they will be selling it. I think that, submarines is something I pulled out my ass, but it makes sense. CRJ going, no! Well, we didn't have to say anything about submarines. What the fuck is he saying? No, we're going to make submarines! Because quantum travel can be quite long, will there be stuff to do while waiting? Yes. So they want meaningful travel times. The travel time between ArcCorp and Hurston in the demo that they showed was 8 minutes. And they were talking about the procedural generation of interiors of structures, which people are like, oh my god, they can do entire plats, well, mainly me. But they can, but they won't, because that's stupid. But 8 minutes, they're going to have meaningful travel times, even between systems, with quantum travel. There's going to be stuff for you to do, based on the ship size, and based on, you can have your mobiGlass out, you could be doing admin. You can, if you're on a larger ship, you can be walking around watching TV, someone else streaming from a Mako, using the render to texture check of a race or something, looking at the news, and that sort of stuff. Looking at the stock market. A lot of traders are going to constantly be looking at how much stuff are worth in certain places. So there's going to be lots of stuff to do. They've talked about having games like basketball, having pretty stuff to do around your ship. There's going to be loads of mini-gamey type things. There's going to be loads of cool, interesting things that you can do, and they are going to build gameplay specifically for that. So yes. Can you speculate on the NPC population radius and density that will be given in places like ArcCorp, given that they said that it wouldn't be... they'll fill the smart places to fill. So they're not going to fill the entire planet full of NPCs, because there's no point. You're not going to be able to visit the internals of the city planets in every single place. But the areas that you go to will have fully fleshed out, 24-hour scheduled NPCs, possibly thousands of them, density-wise, because they take up such a small amount of data. They've been working on that for a while, and it's only going to get more and more efficient. Just at the moment, the NPCs are like halfway there, and they're just a bit derpy when they're pathfinding, because they're pathfinding around procedurally generated cities and things. And it's all the tech coming together. Where are we? Every guy and his dog will have a hangar that they will go with their ship. Are we going to be able to put our hangars? Yes, you'll be limited to certain zones. You'll be limited to certain areas. You will still have choices where to put them, but you are going. The current thinking is that limited to certain zones, which makes sense. I just don't know exactly what all those zones are going to be. I'm looking forward to 3.0. It's just there's an issue with stuff when they do like this is that 3.0 is almost outdated. We want 3.1 now before we want 3.0. It's an odd thing that the CIG do because they effectively do the dev tech demos, which are something that I wish they would release. I wish the Star Citizen releases were a lot more raw, where they went, look, we've got the assets that you can do stuff that works. There's not as much tangible gameplay. It's not a polished product or anything, but these are the dev demos and stuff. I just wish they released that, and they gave us console commands so we could spawn in Idris. We could spawn in Procedural Cities and fuck around with the tools. That's what I wanted. I love what they're doing, but it just seems that it takes them so much time and effort to do these polished products. I suppose it's great for marketing, does generate them a fuck ton of money, and it does push them and get certain problems solved much earlier than they would do in the process. I love the open development they've got. It's just occasionally I look at it and go, wow, I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to do that. I'm greedy for content, greedy for the ability to do stuff in game. From that picture of the Pioneer, they showed us to compare its size with the Caterpillar. It seems the Pioneer will be almost as big as an Idris. Yeah, so the Idris is about 220 meters, and the Pioneer's 200. So yeah, they're fucking huge. They're a huge ship. Around twice the length of a Caterpillar. If gravity is simulated, you say turn off your ship engines off in orbit. Are they planning to be pulled in? I believe so. Like, I think in like 3.0 that won't happen. The way the object containers and stuff will work will mean that if you're near a planet, you'll be in its like physics grid and gravity grid. I'm not sure at what stage you'll be pulled in, but I believe that is the intention. Do you know anything about the needs of food and water as well as oxygen and rest? We know you need oxygen. And we know that they're going to have, in the same way they've got medipens, they're going to have oxygen pens as well. And we know that there's going to be the rim system, where atmospheres and stuff are all going to be whatever they're going to be. You're going to need oxygen in them. If they don't have enough oxygen, if they don't have the correct atmosphere, they can injure you or kill you, unless you've got a suit on. We don't know exactly what plans they've got for food and water. They've talked about light survival mechanics. They've talked about heavier survival mechanics, but they haven't said that this is what we plan to do 100% yet. So I will make a thread at some point talking about survival mechanics and what I want. And I would like other people to pitch in with that with, oh no, I think this is better, or no, I like this idea, or whatever. Because I like the idea that NPCs require food and water and whatever, otherwise they might eventually desert you, or they're significantly cheaper to hire if you've got great facilities and food and water, because that means that and like a mess hall and all that sort of stuff, because that means that they don't have to worry about stuff. They've got everything there. They don't have to buy their own food and water or whatever. And if you don't have those facilities for them, then they charge you more. They get cruel. We're going to charge you more. We're going to charge you this extra every so often because we need to effectively order fucking food in. I like that. I don't mind the idea of needing to find food and water if you crash on a planet. Like, you go, oh, I want to be rescued by someone, but my ship's crashed. Cool. Survival mechanics there for what I'd like would be you have a mission to find food, find water, find food, fix a beacon so that you can be picked up. Boom. Survival mechanics. I don't like the idea of food and drink giving your character a buff. I think that when you log off and you go to sleep, whatever, it should assume your character has eaten while you've gone offline, while you're eating in real life. I think you should be able to pick up food and eat and drink if you want to, because the animations are there, and why not? I just don't think that it should be, if you don't eat, you die. That's all. But I'm willing to have my mind changed. I'm willing for them to do the mechanics they want, and I will just have my opinions on them. And stuff that they say they want to do, I'm always going to go, well, yeah, I'll see it before I get really pissed off at it. Did you see the ship matrix now shows the Javelin being 480 meters? Yes, it did. And I went, that must be a mistake. But then I went, the Javelin is really big. So maybe it is 480 meters. Do you fear the quarterly releases may slow down the future development of new features? No, it won't. So they have separate teams working on separate features constantly. There's loads of stuff they haven't showed us, even they could have shown us now, and I'm not sure why they didn't, of various mechanics and stuff that they've got working, and maybe they want them super polished or something, but no, I don't think it will slow down releases. I think, in fact, that it will probably speed stuff up, because they don't have to... Well, I think it's going to be irrelevant. I think it will be exactly the same pace, pretty much. When do you think they introduce the ship module system? Sooner than we think, actually. So, modules are really important. They've had the Item 2.0 system refactor, so it should be ready. Thank you very much, Malk Olomi. Thank you very much for the sub. I fucking love your face. People can sponsor on YouTube now, which is the same as a Twitch sub. That gives you emotes in YouTube as well. So if you've got, if you are a sponsor on YouTube, which is their version of subbing, you can be able to put in board cringe, board NDA, and board egg, I think, as emotes. So fucking go crazy. That will get more and more fleshed out as a thing on my channel. Yeah. I would love to fly/buy the Terrapin. Do you think the ship would be great for finding the right places in the verse for people to build their bases? Yes, I think that's going to be one of its very good functions, in fact. That will be a viable profession. Finding and surveying land for people, and that sort of stuff, and judging danger, and even weather and stuff like that. The more information that you can provide on a location that you think is great for someone else, the better, and they'll be able to sell that to people, definitely. Yes, we can expect melee weapons. I'm not entirely sure, though. I would like to see a full set of melee weapons. I don't want to see in-depth melee mechanics. I want them to be pretty simple. I'm okay with takedowns. I'm only okay with takedowns, though, if people don't have weapons in the hands that you're taking down. That's one of the things, like, I hate when, like, you would, like, run at someone and do a takedown, and because you ran at them and they turned slightly, it counted as the big in the back, and you just instantly take them down or something. Like, it'd be so annoying. No, I didn't get a new cam. It's just I've set it up better probably, and we're at 1080p, 1080 60p, and with no dropped fucking frames. Yes, I got the settings set up as best I could for the stream today. 1080 60. Whoop. I had a bath. Thanks, mate. Thanks. They said the Crucible Scarab will be modular, but do you think they might come out with a base builder module? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if the Crucible is going to be used to repair buildings on the ground either. I don't know. I will ask about that sort of stuff, because we want to see how do you repair buildings on the ground. If they can be destroyed, they can be damaged, they need to be repaired. Thank you very much. Oh my fucking god, why have you got such weird names? And Very Evan. They are. That's what your name is now. And Very Evan. Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciated. Will we have to create new AI crew for each of our larger ships, or can crews transfer? I don't know. They haven't actually told us. I'm assuming that crews can transfer. You can definitely transfer NPCs, because there's going to be like Pokemon crew, effectively, like high-ranking crew that you will be looking around for going. So you're about to hire skeleton crews and full crews for ships. They're going to be more sort of like effectively nameless scrub NPCs. But you're also going to be able to go, I've got a Carrack and I just want 5 NPCs to go there. You're going to be able to hire specific NPCs for that role. You're going to be able to look around the verse for very skilled NPCs that might appear in bars around. And you're going to be able to use those for officers on capital ships if you wanted to. Or just general scrub NPCs as well if you wanted to. But the idea is you'd make them officers who are in charge of very important sections so that they can use their skills more effectively. Because players won't have skills and experience. They will literally have, I'm a player, this is how good I am at this role, because I've played more. That's the idea. NPCs, however, will effectively have skills and experience.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
I might change my name so you have trouble saying it.
Green Monkey Fuzz, fucking thank you! I love you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated for changing your name. Everyone should change their name to be an easily sayable name. Thank you. I think there's going to be water and underwater gameplay. Just give it a while for the underwater stuff. Let them finish making the water look good, and then they'll fuck around with underwater stuff. Will we have to recruit new? I know we've talked about that. What do you think about buyable skyscrapers on cities? I think that we'll be able to have buyable homes and apartments on cities. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to have buyable.
Tricksy little
Maybe you have to have corp headquarters on planets and things. Yeah, they've got the fucking room for it. They could do the internals of it. Maybe it's a cool idea. It's probably on the like the board of stuff that they want. Do you think we'll ever have a flying but non-space vehicle? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that we get fighters that are specifically designed for defending and in atmosphere fight but can't go into space. Air superiority fighters. I'm hoping that we do. I think it's a smart idea. Thanks, Malcolm. Yours is good. I'm okay with it. I can't speak Xi'an! Yo, mama. Okay. I can't. Oh, fucking. I can't. Oh, God. People already speaking Xi'an. This is my worst fucking nightmare. Why all the ship stats still foobar? They are a lot better than they used to be. They just give them a little bit of time. Give them a week. And then I'm going to. After that week, I'm going to start doing... Oh, thank you very much for the tier! Terrific! I fucking love the tier! Thank you. Fucking love your face. I give them a week, and then I'm going to start doing my ship buyers guide. So to make sure that the stats are relatively accurate, just in case there's mistakes. But some of them might not be mistakes. Yeah, I think it may well be possible to buy or rent houses and apartments and even skyscrapers for orgs in the future, but that's not a mechanic that they've mentioned properly. Like, that's my assumption. Typically, how long does alphas take to finish? That amount of time. It's different for each of them. Some can take a decade, I suppose, whereas others will be done in like a year. Star Citizen, I'm expecting a beta for the Star Citizen MMO late 2019. I think that's slightly optimistic, but I do think that is a very possible thing. I am pretty hyped right now. I'd say probably an 8. 8.5 maybe. Thank you very much, Fragment. I fucking love your face. Legend, thank you. The trend is for cool new ships. Do you think we might eventually get classical vintage ships? There are going to be classic and vintage ships based on new models of ships going out. So eventually, after the game's release, you will see the Hornet Mark III. You'll see the Aurora Mark III and stuff like that come in. And the older models will still be there, but they just won't be manufactured in game anymore. So you will have old vintage models of ships. Do you think there will be plastic surgery on or after release to change your character's appearance? Yeah, quite possibly. I think that's one of the things that hospital ships and stuff are going to be able to do. Definitely. Yes, I do think there will be public transport. As you can see here even, there is a tram system going around. I believe that tram system will be fully workable. Yes, so you'll be able to use public transport almost certainly to get different hero zones. They're not going to want people to be able to free roam fly like they were in the demo around. Like, they're not going to want people to crash into buildings and fuck around, and it doesn't make sense for those planets for people to want them to fly around as well. So there has to be some systems in place there. Do you think there's scope for VR having some kind of gameplay mechanic advantage? No, I don't. Other than the fact it's cool. Do you think it'd be expensive to man, let's say, than NPCs to make it worth it? I'm not sure what the question is actually referring to, sorry. Do you think I think quantum travel on certain ships will be faster than others. I don't think they're all at 0.2C or whatever it's supposed to be. I think that some will be better at quantum traveling, more efficient, certainly, especially the explorer ships. They'll definitely be more efficient. And some ships will need to stop and charge, possibly, and then jump again, maybe. Yeah. What are your thoughts about the 90 meter 600i in comparison with the number of hardpoints and component size? I haven't looked enough at it, actually, to be able to make a full judgment on it. I think the 600i is going to be a good multi-role ship for luxury, but it's fucking expensive what it is. Yes, Stormfire, I am, because it's been donated by you, bro. I'm giving away a Constellation Aquila with lifetime insurance and P52 and Azarova, donated by the lovely Stellar Enterprise Org. Oh. Oh, I didn't see, without risking your NDA stuff, I didn't see, can you type that question in again as a question? Without risking your NDA stuff. I saw some of that. He didn't read it out for some reason. I'm sorry. I'm the worst. Random videos! I'm at scale 8 hyped. If I see that question fucking again, I am banning you. Jesus Christ. Sorry. It's my rage there. I apologise. Could we build monorail from outpost to outpost? Potentially. We saw like roads in an ATV before. It potentially could build public transport. I don't know. But there's definitely the potential there, isn't there? I think that anything that people want enough and is sensible and doesn't cause CIG to rethink massive core aspects of their game, like the public transport that does kind of exist, they do kind of want it, it'll be doable. Since the Javelin has increased in size to 480 meters, do you think it will have more guns? Oh, potentially it might have had a bit of a reflesh out. No, but we'll check the stats for it now. That is a beautiful pineapple. What do you think about pets? Yeah, I think pets will be a thing in game. I suspect that early pets will be just stuff that you can have as flair. So there'll be like the fish and stuff that we have at the moment. I'm not sure how expandable the pets will be. Maybe you'll be able to have pets as
Tricksy
effectively armor flare, like a little fucking monkey on
Wondering
your shoulder.
whether CR will actually play this game with citizens when it's finished.
He almost certainly will. Techno Spoon, he'll jump in and stuff. I'm interested to see how many citizens play it as intended, as his vision says. Thank you very much, Super. Oh my fucking Super Farm Atara. I can't say your name. Super Farm Metra. Whatever. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. I can't fucking read. Okay, it's my secret. I can't read at all. What do you think about the new SSD Intel bought out compared to... So I have a very good M2 drive. I don't fucking remember what it is. I think it is a nice to be Evo or something. But something similar. I think it's going to be great. I think it's fucking expensive. I don't think that it's going to be needed as much as they say it's needed for Star Citizen. I need to get my hands on it. I think it's overly expensive and first gen, well, it's technically second gen of Optane, I suppose, but it's the first generation of the way they want to do that Optane drive, the large Optane drives. I need one in my hands to see how good it is, and then I will discuss it more. So I will be buying one. Is there already more information about quantum travel interruption, how it works? They've talked about sort of how they want it to work, which is it will be generated from something, and you'll be able to set the size of effectively a bubble of disruption that will, if something hits that bubble, it will come out of quantum drive. Now, you want to make that bubble as small as possible so that it's harder to detect, and that when a ship comes out, it's closer to you. So you can have this huge catchment area, but you're not necessarily going to be able to catch that ship before it can call in reinforcements, get away, or report you to the authorities or whatever. So that's basically the mechanic. It's going to be detectable when you set up quantum disruption, but again, it's based on your management of that. So, for example, nav beacons that can be deployed in the verse, scanning someone else's down of them and then going to effectively hijack it and knowing other people's trade routes and stuff will give you massive advantages when doing quantum disruption. But we don't know exactly what even generates that. We don't know if it's like a missile that does like a quantum disruption. We don't know if it's going to be a ship, like a whole module like the Warlock's kind of EMP module, but for quantum disruption, we don't know. We don't know yet. Yeah, if the ship's large enough, you can walk around your ship. You can do loads of different things in your ship. There's going to be gameplay for it. There's going to be stuff to watch. There's going to be news broadcasts. You'll be able to use your Moby Glass. You'll be able to check out the prices of materials. Lots of stuff. The shorter range fighters are obviously going to be maybe just your Moby Glass, but the larger range, like exploration ships, they're going to have loads to do. Will it be enough to have hero NPC management like... we don't really know. They don't want to make it Sim Citizen with your NPC management, though. So I suspect they are relatively smart and intelligent. You hire them, and you might need to do a couple of things with the more important NPCs or with like policies across your ship, setting who is able to access these areas. But other than that, I don't think it's going to be super complex. They're going to want to make the game as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. Chris showed us Big Cities and 2 planets. Is that coming out on 3.0? No, 3.1. 3.1 and onwards. Beyond 3.0. Will there be fauna farming? So animal farming, I think they want to put it in game. We'll see. I'm hoping there's going to be big game hunting. I'm hoping there's going to be animal capturing. And maybe that will lead on to pets and stuff as well. Pets will be coming into the game in some form because it is a stretch goal and they are honouring them. If you capture an NPC ship, like kill the NPCs, will you own that ship? Yeah. In the full game, yeah, you're going to be able to capture ships. I'm going to be using a Sentinel and some other EMP ships, like hopefully the Saber Raven and stuff, to do that very thing. That's one of the mechanics I want to get down, understand, and be able to do, and then do videos on that. If you steal someone else's ship, it's not a pirate, yes, you'll be marked as a criminal, unless they're an outlaw or something. It's a good point. If you're actually driving in a pirate ship, will you be marked as a criminal? I don't think so. I think you'll probably like, mark it for salvage or something, or mark it for reclamation, maybe. That's an interesting edge case. The Pioneer says it's heavy repair ship. It may well be able to repair modules as well. And might be able to salvage them, potentially. I don't know. They haven't really talked much about those mechanics. If it can put them down, I suppose it can pick them up, maybe. Which would be cool. Because then you can come and repair bases and then go, well, we're going to move this base effectively, so we'll munch up these modules and take them somewhere else. Yeah, I actually would expect it to have that function, but we'll see. Thank you very much, Oh, do I think 3.0? I think we'll at least have, by the holidays, the wider PTU for 3.0. I'm not sure if it will be live. Will we be able to get the Octane SSD with the Raven in the UK? Yes, we can, from scan.co.uk, except it is incredibly expensive. £600 I saw it for in the UK. So wait until at least the 30th, so tomorrow they come out officially, and we'll see where we can get them from. I'll chuck it on social media and stuff, where I can find the cheaper ones. I will complain to Intel if we have to spend £600 to get them in the UK for the small ones. That is bullshit. Is quantum travel detectable via gravitational waves? It'll be detectable in some situations, I believe. I'm not sure how. But I think like the Hornet track and stuff, and ships that will probably literally be tracking pirates through things, you will literally trying to track down quantum trails. When the atmospheric flight model is implemented, do you expect ships to behave more like normal planes? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that ships with gravity in atmosphere have a lot more weight to them. I know the VTOL systems and the IC intelligent flight computer system stuff. They can handle a lot of it and they can work it out. I just need it to feel differently when you're in atmosphere. I need it to have weight to it. I need it to be a lot more brutal when you're fighting. Like, you don't want to fight in atmosphere because, like, if I get hit by a missile, I could just crash. It might not destroy my ship getting hit by the missile, but it's going to cause me to crash because it will knock me off, of course. And I want, like, wind and environmental hazards and stuff to really affect you. It'll be cool. I think that's going to be awesome. Do you think there will be many more ships added to the game? I think there will be many more ships added to the game. Lots. Like, every year they add them, even after the game's released, almost certainly. 2018 will be a year for pretty much every ship that's been announced to be flyable, in my opinion. I don't want to put like a force CIG, oh my fucking god, we never said that. But looking at it, loads of the large ships are going to be done for 2018. Loads of those small ships have gone through their reworks and everything. We're going to see pretty much all those ships, or a massive percentage of them, done. When we'll be able to host our own TV shows in Star Citizen. So, yeah, potentially, well, at release, obviously, that's the one they want, that kind of mechanics. The render texture stuff, the Mako, all that stuff would allow you, and the voice over IP, face over IP stuff, would allow you to do in-game talks and stuff that's broadcasted in-game. We don't know exactly how the mechanics are going to work, but I believe that's the intention, or at least something they could very much considering. There will be asteroids, yes. And I believe they're going to be voxel mineable asteroids as well. One of the things I'm surprised they didn't show us. With injuries potentially disabling players and the ability to revive them, do you think I'll be able to kidnap a player at NPC? Yeah. There's going to be electrical, there's going to be stun tools. You could potentially kidnap someone. I just don't know, kidnapping players and things, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting, odd mechanic. I upgraded my X1 to a Cutlass Black. Should I hold on to the Cutlass till 3.0? Yes, why not? If you're going to melt it to buy something, then melt it to buy something. If you're going to buy it now, if not, then hold on to it until you need to melt it. Yeah? Especially with 3.0 coming. Might as well play with that Cutlass. I think you mentioned it before, but I can't find any reminder. Any ideas who's in the first wave PTU? I believe that Concierge are in first wave. I'm not sure if subscribers are. Subscribers will be in the early waves, whether it's first or second wave. And then active bug testers and people that are on the issue council and stuff will go into the first wave. Active PTU testers previous to that as well. Is the Buccaneer turret upgrade still legit? No, I think that they've moved off the flash fire mount at the moment. More information on that as I find out about it. I want to get some... I'm going to leave the ship matrix for like a week and then ask some questions about it. Give them some time to update and change any mistakes. We'll be able to build ships. I don't think we're able to build ships. I think that's going to be handled pretty much on like factory planets and things. Potentially we could, but I doubt it. I think we're going to be able to like take materials and help ships be built. And we might be able to have them commissioned, I suppose. It's potentially we could build ships. Same as space stations as well. Potentially we could build space stations. They've got space is larger. They've got modular space stations larger than the ground. Why not build modular space stations? How much do I think the Saber Raven will go for on the grey market? Stupid money. Remember that if people returned their Optane drive, that Saber Raven will disappear. I think they should have put in the thing that it should only be for the people that have the Optane drives can have the Saber Ravens. Probably like $200, something like that. The Raven has size 40 MP mounts. Are they available for other ships? They should be available for other ships. They're not. I don't think they're proprietary. And the Warlocks is going to have quite a different type of EMP generator, I believe. They don't melt with Cutlass, agreed. Microtech is stretch goal for 3.3. No, forget everything you know about any patch other than beyond 3.0, really. When I'm talking about that, anything that was 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, all that sort of shit. Because they removed that from the schedule report. They will be telling us more about that as soon as 3.0 is released. So they've rejigged everything. Lots of stuff is coming out in 3.1. Ability to buy ships. Probably the stuff that we saw in that demo as well. But mineable asteroids and stuff. The Caterpillar will certainly be able to hold all the space bikes. Which ships should someone buy to hold one of the 3 space bikes? You are going to be able to have that in the Caterpillar. I believe in the Freelancer. You can have it in lots of ships, just not done safely. Caterpillar, Freelancer, and larger. Constellation Aquila. Basically, of the smaller ships, definitely not in the Avenger or the Reliant. That probably answers your question better. Definitely not in those two. Did you notice the Aurora's thrust was constantly firing at high levels due to the... Oh, no, I didn't. That's cool. That's good to know. I suppose it was forcing itself up because it was an atmosphere. What's your favourite image from CitizenCon footage? It's probably what's coming up in a second where they look at the planet and I think, oh, he's just come from there. That's actually visitable there. That they've built that city. It's fucking amazing. They want to add, well, they're going to have the ability in the future for you to survive ejection in atmosphere. We don't know what that's going to be. It might be parachutes, it might be jet boots, whatever. That's something like that. Yes, in the future you'll be able to sell and trade ships to other people in-game. Yep, just not in the near future. You'll be able to buy them as well in 3.1.
I'm going to buy so many spaceships.
Thanks for all the info every week. Love your face.
Thank you very much, Citizen Irish Star. That is a fuckload of money. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. I love my face too. And I love your name. It's easier to say than I would have expected. Thank you very much, fucking legend. Do you have any news about what is going to be the role of the hangar? It's going to be there to store your ships. You're going to be able to customize them to a certain degree. I'm not sure how much, but I suspect that it will be very customizable and buildable onto, like they wanted to do originally. They talked about it ages ago, and they kind of stopped talking about it. You're able to place hangars that you have in certain locations. just not everywhere in the verse, just a lot of places. And you'll be able to buy them in places for storage and things. They're going to be what you think: storage and ship storage, cargo storage, all that sort of jazz. Little bases in secure areas. Just on a Starfire fish tank. That would be cool. Should I buy a freelancer as a solo player? That will be perfectly usable as a solo player. It depends on what type of gameplay you want, though. You'll be able to get all the ships in game as well, so you don't have to buy anything. Cyclone in freelancer. I doubt it. The Cyclone is quite a the Tumbril Cyclone's an odd shape. It will be it's quite tall as well. I doubt it'll. I doubt it will be available in the covers and freelancer. I'm going to buy
so many spaceships.
Oh, fucking Stormfire! Thank you so much. Stormfire has been incredibly supportive. He is the leader of the Stellar Enterprise, and that's where the giveaway has come from. Thank you so much. You've given far too much already. He keeps on trying to give me ships and things. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Can you still try and shove a space bike into an Avenger and fly? You can try. It might not. It won't be safely secured, which could cause damage to your ship and the vehicle as well. We've seen the red Saber in game picks, but not in shop. Does that mean we'll be able to have custom paint jobs? Eventually, you'll be able to have custom paint jobs on ships. You'll be able to paint them yourself. I'm expecting for CIG to also release, whether or not they're buy for real money or for expensive amounts in UEC, some very cool custom, like crazy paint jobs, or like women like laying across the front of them, like you would in like Dogfighters IRL and stuff. And like cool, intricate, like Starkit and bullshit ones and that sort of stuff. But yes, you'll be able to have custom paint jobs on your ships in the future. They showed that off at the last anniversary stream, I think, last year. The ArcCorp Planet City is procedurally generated. They showed off procedurally generated interiors. Do you think we can go into any building on ArcCorp? Not in any building. I talked about this earlier. It's going to be for large areas, yeah, and for hero zones, yeah, but not in every building. It's not going to be the entire city in titles. There's no need for them to do that. It would be insane. Also, you'd get art fatigue after a while, which is when you notice patterns and when you go, oh, this doesn't make sense. There'd be bugs and shit everywhere as well, that there's no way they could go and visit them. There's no way you could go and visit everywhere in the world, every building in the real world, and it's the size of Earth, that planet, so... And that's just one of them. So they'll have large, sprawling areas, and it will make sense, and you'll feel like large amounts of the planets are visitable. There will be multiple landing zones all over the planets as well, so yeah, huge areas to explore, large sections to move around to. You'll probably be able to go on public transport to those areas as well, and it's going to feel like fucking huge sections, if not the entire planet is visitable, but it's not. See what I mean? Like, it might be like 5%, but 5% of exploring Earth is probably quite a fucking huge amount. Sorry for my potty mouth today as well, I think the intakes on the Raven look completely out of place. Potentially. I want to get that ship in my hands. I want to mess around with it. I want to be able to say to people, nah, the ship's shit. You don't need it. And I want to be able to say the Octane drives are shit, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm a bit jaded with that. Apparently, so from the reviews I've read, I'm always quite cagey about third-party reviews now. Like, some of them I feel like have been paid off, but I doubt that's the case. I'm a bit cautious. Pretty much everywhere said that they are really expensive, but they are top-tier, high-enthusiast, great things that they're going to survive, like, significantly longer than any other drive. They are significantly faster, like, several times faster than M2 drives. The issue is that... they sell them in the U2 format, which you need a conversion cable or a conversion card to use them in N2 slots, or you can buy them as PCI Express cards. PCI Express cards seem to be the most sensible option if you're going to buy one of them, unless you have a U2 slot already. I don't like the idea of converting an M2 to a U2, just because it feels like I'm losing overhead. Yeah. Apparently they're great, but they're expensive, and in a game, if you're looking for a rig for Star Citizen, I don't know if I can say in earnest that I recommend them. I'll tell you more as soon as I have one. What kind of features do you... what kind of things we'll be able to do on ArcCorp in the future? Trade, cargo, various missions, all on... You can do missions on ArcCorp. Literally, it's a planet. You'll be able to do missions on the ground. You'll be able to do anything that you'd be able to do in a normal landing zone in any game, I suppose. Lots of stuff. There's lots of different shops there. There's going to be social areas. There's going to be the ability just to chill out and then look at the news and stuff in game. Yeah, just like anything that's like a trade and city hub in like World of Warcraft and that sort of stuff, and Eve, Jita, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be compressed into each of these landing locations effectively on the ground. But obviously there'll be some unique flavors, and this is why I said earlier that they're not going to have every building visible or go in, because there's no point. They want to have unique flavor. They want to have reasons for going there. They want to have specific NPCs in certain areas. They want to have specific shops and the flavor in these areas for you to do things and to drive you to go to these areas. So there will be like a more slummy district. There will be a more upper class area. There will be habitation areas. There will be restaurant areas and that sort of stuff. And they want to get these things in game, and they want everyone to have this cool experience where it's slightly handcrafted and it's got those flavourful hero buildings and things in. I'm not sure if we're going to see combat drones. There are certainly drones in the game. I think they're moving away as much as they can from combat AI. That's not an NPC. So there are going to be AI modules that are going to be able to power turrets if you've got enough blades in your ship. But I'm not sure if you're going to be able to have entirely AI like combat drones. Definitely have to have mining drones and things, and little scouty droney things, but I don't know if they're going to be combat. What do we know about the industry and resource nodes will work? So they've talked about this several years ago, but a lot of that's still going to be used by them as far as I'm aware with the economy. There's resource nodes, which are effectively on planets, which require materials that are taken there by players from missions and things. You'll have missions to take iron to planets and things. That's used to create the items that go into shop. It's pretty much as simple as that. And supply and demand of those items and the need for those items to be made will work out as the resources that are in shortage are what missions are generated and what ships, what stocks available for weapons, armor, ships, all that sort of jazz. We are watching my gaming cut of Star Citizen, which I will link, because I am great to sell out to myself. Let's link this bad boy. Video manager. I might as well get some fucking extra views in, eh? Oh, you little bastards. Keep on demonetizing my videos! There's my CitizenCon playlist. Request review. This is suitable for all advertisers. I haven't said the word dick in it enough. Let's make it not suitable. There we go. Fucking. I'll show you. So it's. This video is not limited or no ads due to content identified as not suitable to most advertisers, which is bullshit. It's just it might be because I use the word ship and it sounds like shit when it does the auto translation, because basically YouTube generates auto subtitles, which it actually uses to work out if something is limited or not. But I'm getting a lot better at my diction and elocution. So, but yeah, pretty much I probably lose $200 to $300 a month. Which is a significant portion of the money that YouTube generates for me, because they suddenly go, this is no longer valid for ads. Yeah. I'm a horse. That's how angry I am. First world fucking problems. I'm able to play games for a living and cover Star Citizen and talk for a living, which is fucking amazing. So thank you. That's pretty much your guys allowing me to do that. Thank you. Will there be some sort of sovereignty system even? So there'll definitely be a light form of sector control that orgs can declare that they've got sector, especially in like zero sec space, the space that's not secured by UEE or any other race. But we don't know if there's going to be any enforceable things with owning a system and then be able to set policies and stuff there. It's possible for the future, definitely. We don't know though. I suspect people will do that. I bought a Retaliator many moons ago, thinking of using it as a fast smuggling vessel. Is that still viable? Yeah, you can get cargo modules for it and use it as a smuggling vessel. Definitely. You're going to be able to do lots of different things with smuggling. You'll be able to hide cargo. You'll be able to make cargo look like other things. You'll be able to misdeclare what the cargo is. That sort of stuff for smuggling. Or fight your way through, I suppose. But that might make you an outlaw. Do you know anything about the progress or stats of the Banner Merchantman? It's 160 meters long, I think now. It's fucking big. In about a week's time, when I think the stats page will have settled, I'm going to look through that, do ship buyers guides or ship flyers guides or whatever on each of those ships. So we will look at it properly then. Yes, we can build our own bases and hangars in our bases. Yes, there will be landing pads and hangars, I believe. Oh, so you can spawn your ships from them. Probably. I don't know. That makes sense. But you only be able to spawn a ship that you've taken there previously. So I can imagine that you could build like a hangar module, and the idea is that part of that hangar is underground, and that brings ships up on a lift, but you have to have the ship there to be able to bring it up on the lift. That would be my expectation for that mechanic. No, I know. I should need to say ship better. Pa. Yeah, so there's the potential, I suppose, to have an app on your Moby Glass that can translate Xi'an, or an R2D2 bot following you around, or a pet that translates for you, maybe, yeah.
Tricksy little hobbits.
Thank you very much, Adrian Skoll. Fucking love your face. The Reclaimer has user-controlled drones. Cool. Yes, I knew it had drones. I didn't know exactly 100% how those drones worked. They need to flesh out the mechanics for remote-controlled stuff as well. We don't have a 3.0 release date yet. I am expecting it before the holidays, at least the wider PTU. That's okay. I don't mind questions like that. As long as people don't continuously ask them like every 5 seconds, it's all good. I'm pretty chill. Do you think the way the CID does insurance should change? I think it will evolve 100%, and we will keep them accountable based on how that evolves. We want to make it fair and sensible. We need to make sure that lifetime insurance isn't this like game-breaking thing. We need to make sure that there is the risk of mortality, risk of reward, and all that sort of stuff. That it's all meaningful. But we also need to make sure it's not too harsh that people go fuck this, and rage quit. There's we don't know how many. Well, I don't know how many blockers are left for the current spate of 3.0's alpha shopping kind of sprint. There's 17 bugs left they want to get before moving on to, I believe, mission and subsumption AI, which will probably be another 20 bugs, and then I suspect they will do probably another like 10 to 15 bugs for a polish pass over everything before releasing to the wider wave PTU. So not too long. Think 5 to 6 weeks. I think 5 to 6 weeks. You found the burn down. So there's ATV's burn down, which is on the Star Citizen main YouTube, and there's obviously the schedule report as well, which is I'll give you the schedule report link. Thank you very much, Takon. You fucking legend. I think I saw you at FirstCon I was watching. Much as I could of it. For the time being, as far as we're aware, the Pioneer is the only way to base build. As far as we're aware at the moment. There might be smaller scale base building, but you'll be able to call in other people's Pioneers. The way that the advert implied is that the only other way of getting it done before was by contract to large corporations. So that might still be a possibility. Might be able to pay a large corp to deploy a base for you. Any news on Squadron 42 progress? So we will get the updates for Squadron 42 and it being added to the schedule report in the holiday live stream in December. That is going to be the focus of that live stream. We will go to see a lot of it then. So that is when, December. Any news on the Prowler? No, other than it's a cool boarding ship, stealthy boarding ship. I think a lot of people love it. What version do you expect Star Citizen to be Delta patched to by the end of 2018? I suspect we will have the fully fleshed out Stanton system by the end of 2018, with all the planets looking reasonably good. They'll still want to work on them, and a large percentage of the game mechanics and a large percentage of the ships. I suspect the full Stanton system to a good quality level, and then they'll, like towards mid 2019, I'm expecting them to have jump points starting to come in and other systems, and then end of 2019, I suspect game will be near-ish beta stage. Ships will be pretty customizable. You'll be able to make ships that their main role isn't one particular role into the role you want to make them. So yeah, you might be able to have an exploration-y Redeemer. Might not be as good as buying a Carrack and making that exploration, obviously, because that's hull is built for exploration. But you'll certainly be able to do stuff like that. Be able to push them more into that role. How do you think we should have to? How long do you think we have to grind for larger ships like the Orion Reclaimer in the final game? I don't know. Because I don't think CIG 100% know yet. I talked to Aaron in my last studio tour, I gave him an interview, and I talked about that very question. How long do you think ship progression is going to take and stuff? And they basically said, we will balance that with the aid with the community, and we will get something that works. So they don't know yet. We're going to have to be the people that help work that out. 3.1 should be a good kind of thing of that. Because they'll start to be selling ships there. A good test of that and a good... I don't know what words. I can't words. But, we'll know more after 3.1. The Aurora is the most common ship with 3.0 bringing cargo. Does it get shipping container? I know they wanted to put the shipping container, the store box in 3.0. I'm not sure if it is working in item system 2.0 yet. So maybe it'll be in pretty quick afterwards, I suspect, if it's not. Do you think bounty hunting will be good enough to get money? Yeah. I think bounty hunting for NPCs and players, although I think it'll be harder to hunt players than it is NPCs, obviously. You can purchase in-game currency now if you wanted to. They are going to regulate that better, though. I would recommend against it. I think you're better do everything in-game anyway. But yeah, that's one of the ways they want to generate money by not having a subscriptions, I believe, is by selling them.
Buy so many spaceships.
Screw, let's talk about keep up the good work.
Screw 3.0, let's talk about 3.1. I know, right? 3.0 is already dead. Thank you very much for the donation. I fucking love your face. Thank you very much, Captain Prox. Captain Prox? Alright. When are we going to see atmospheric engine animations working? I mean, they sort of were. The engine trails. I mean, they obviously tweak them more and they need to work more on the smoke tech. I think it's like between... It's like mid to late November, so I think between like the 14th and the 20th sort of thing. That sort of end, I think. Well, I'm not 100% sure. I'll find out. With ProcTech, do you think there's going to be personal or org apartments patched in the game? Yeah, I do. I'm warming up to the idea now. I think that's a general possibility. They haven't really talked about that, though, so that's just my assumption. But let's sip on the Pioneer talk that Outpost would... Oh, yeah, so we're going to have... So, they're building out the Outpost system at the moment, and that Outpost system is effectively part of the procedural city generation as well. They're going to have procedural outposts, procedural villages, procedural towns, procedural cities, procedural city planets, and that's all going to be part of the same modular building blocks. They can mix and match those into each other, NPC outposts might become and evolve into larger states of more outposts and then become town and village eventually in the future. And naturally, I suppose, player outposts will evolve to get larger and larger and larger. That's my thoughts on that. I don't know anymore. I might save my bid for charity, or I might shave it on a whim or something. I am bipolar, so occasionally I go, look, I have to shave my beard off, otherwise my cat will die, or something stupid. So I think that's a bit OCD, but that, unfortunately, is how my depression takes me. Did you go and get your head scan for Star Citizen? No, I haven't yet, but I will in the future. That's the plan. Yes, I suspect that we will be able to plant explosives and items that will be able to disable ship, or that can be remotely detonated to disable ships in flight and quantum drive. Yeah, I suspect that is going to be a thing. I suspect that's going to be a big thing when you're boarding like capital ships and stuff. Oh, no, I think most stuff will land VTOL. The Intel Optane drives are officially released on the 30th, so tomorrow at some time, so expect them more globally on the 31st, I suppose, and then we'll see where it's got stock and actually how much they are not pre-ordered. Because I don't want to have to spend £600 for them in the UK. When do you think the first intelligent alien race will be added? I don't know when it's going to be added. I suspect that we will see more of the alien races in probably the holiday live stream, probably more of the Vandal stuff. We might potentially see it in the anniversary live stream in November. That's the sort of stuff I'm waiting for now. What you're about to see here on the screen actually is the Onicrabs stuff, which is the first real alien creature we've seen in game that might have AI. Obviously, we did sort of see the sandworms, but they were very much sort of like an event. Like, that's what it did. It didn't actually do anything more. Now with the new Pioneer, I can hire some org to buy both the land. Yeah. You can just get, if you don't want a Pioneer, you can just go get someone else to do it for you. Like, get someone to find the land, get someone to build the base for you. Do it with UEC. Boom. 2 dudes in a ship. They both log out, and non-owner logs back in. What happens? In the short term, I have no fucking idea. In the long term, the ship will spawn back in. That's literally it. You'll spawn in back in with the ship. Assuming they logged out in beds and everything, the ship will despawn into safety. When one of them logs back in, the ship will spawn. With rec available to buy in-game, are you not worried this will create a pay-to-win issue? We will discuss pay-to-win in more detail in the future, because I'm very against pay-to-win. I don't give a fuck about pay for aesthetic or pay for time advantage. I do not give no shits. Because I am able to grind. I am able to make my job playing Star Citizen. I am, however, against people being able to chuck money into a game to to beat another player in some way. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be the same as EVE with Plex, where it's not so much of an issue, and all that's going to do is make the verse more diverse. You're going to be able to go and fuck around with NPCs that have got much better ships than you anyway. There's 9 NPCs to every 1 player. It's not going to be an issue, I don't think, but we will keep on it. I'm not going to fucking let the game to be pay to win. I don't want, I'm pissed off about the exclusive Saber Raven, mate. I don't think that ship's pay to win at all, but it's exclusive. It makes me angry. Everything's going to be obtainable in game. Org play and group play is going to diminish a lot of that pay to win anyway, and you're about to someone's boarded an Idris, cool, then I'm going to need crew, I'll join their org. Boom. Did you pay to win? No. Did they pay to win? Well, it's debatable. It certainly gives you a time advantage. If that's your definition of pay to win, then it's pay to win, but that's not mine. And we need to talk about that in more detail, because some people are going to have an issue with it, but that's a way that Star Citizen is funded, through ship sales, and they want to sell UEC. But if something's more sensible, or people really hate the idea, I suspect CIG will look at other avenues. So we keep them accountable stuff. Educated guess, 5 to 7 weeks for 3.0 release. To wider PTU anyway. 5 to 6. 4 to 6. Do you think bounty hunting? Yeah, we've talked about that. I don't know if the rotors will... the ships have been updated to look cool, and how cool do you think the system-to-system jump will be? I don't know how long it's going to take. It will look cool, we know that, but I don't know how long it's going to take. I have no fucking idea. I'm not sure if it's going to be quicker than quantum traveling from... I expect it to be quite quick, personally. No, sorry. I used Plex as an example because that's the EVE monetized their product. But I suspect that Star Citizen selling UEC is going to be a similar thing. And EVE's not pay monthly anymore. They've redone Plex. I also suspect they'll keep the subscriptions that you are allowed to voluntarily subscribe to get behind the scenes information, to get extra hangar flare and stuff. Nothing tangible for the actual PU. They might even start giving away free stuff for Arena Commander and Star Marine, which is the game within the game, which wouldn't affect the persistent universe. I suspect they'll be doing a QA, at least a minor QA on the Raven this week. I don't know. I expect so. And the Pioneer, definitely. They've released a little bit of info on the Mustang rework. Shall I show you? Blah, 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 blah. Bear with me, mate. Oh, no, can you not open? Yes. So, this is all the information I have on the Mustang rework. I know it's in progress. I know that it's not going to be a massive change to the Mustang, but they are making it look a little bit cooler. Yeah, expect it to be cool. Here's the link to that brochure. No, it's not, because it's on my desktop. I linked it earlier. Fuck you. It's on the website, I think. I hope it is. So my definition of pay to win in that regard is that it'd be stuff that you can't easily either easily obtain in game or obtain in game. So I mean, there's definitely connotations of pay to win there because of it takes it gives you a time advantage. There is an advantage aspect there, but whether that's enough for me to go, it's pay to win in a bad way or anything, it's not traditionally pay to win. It doesn't put me off the game at all. Whereas pay to win in the way that my brain goes, does that give him a direct advantage over me being able to constantly fuck me over? No, it doesn't. It does not. In 3.1, you're going to be able to buy ships with Alpha UEC. In 3.0, you're going to be able to buy weapons and systems with Alpha UEC. I am I'm going to be mainly an economy and industry player. I'm going to do some combat as well because part of my channel. I'll be doing boarding and ship capture, a lot of, I suspect, but we'll see how the game evolves and see what's fun. Can I have an armory in my hangar? Yep, you can. It depends on the size of your hammer. It depends on the size of your penis. No, it depends on the size of your armory and your ship. Yes. Do you think that Brad Pitt should play you if they ever do a making of Star Citizen film? Fuck yes! And Brad Pitt's a good choice. I am also always eating in every scene. As soon as I go off air, I'll be nom. I do have to go in a minute. I promised I'd see someone at 3. It's 10 past 3 already. Can you fit a tracker sensor to a Ghost? And if so, will it make it more detectable using it? Possibly. It's to do with your systems management. So if you're using more power, if you're more heat being vented from your ship, then you are more detectable. I noticed lots of designated large ships have medium components and jump drives. What's your thought about it? I don't know how efficient those things are compared to large drives. Although, actually, I think it's typically a 3-to-1 ratio. So a medium drive is 3 times better than a small drive, and a large is 3 times better than the medium. But I don't know how that is in real games until I actually have it in my hands. Do you think the AMP modules will be available for other Sabers? Yeah, potentially. They take up a size 4 missile rack. I don't think it's proprietary or anything. So potentially you could hold those Maxox burst EMP generators that the Raven has on a different mount. It's a size 4 missile mount or torpedo mount or whatever. Yes, I believe that one of the ideas with the new systems for flipping all your switches, the interaction system and cockpit system, is you can effectively do pre-flight checks. You could actually walk around your ship and do a proper pre-flight check, and then get in and then do all your stuff to really check to see if your ship's been fiddled with or has like a tracking sensor on or a bomb on it or something. Which version do you think will see procedural generated cities? That's a good question. I mean, I think the hope is for 3.1. I think realistically 3.2. So mid 2018. I might be too optimistic. What would you think about making the insurance like a deductible in real life? I think it kind of is going to be. I think you're going to be able to You might have to pay off a little bit of it, even if you've got lifetime insurance. You might have to pay off a little bit of a insurance thingamajig. Otherwise, it's going to take a long time to arrive. You can pay for it to be expedited, stuff like that. So the lifetime insurance will only be on hull as well, so it's not going to be on any weapons or any changes they make to the ship. You have to get insurance for that separately. So it's not going to be this huge fucking big deal. Anyone that buys the capital ships anyway, at any point before game launch, should get lifetime insurance on those capital ships anyway. Those hulls might be worth it to have lifetime insurance on, because it might be expensive to get insurance, but I don't know yet. The 300 series is pretty much an all-rounder. You could get Avenger Titan, but that's probably about the same level. Yes, you have to blow up doors to get in 3.0. So in 3.0, there's going to be the locking of ships. You can lock the exterior doors so that no one just wanders onto your ship. But those doors are also going to be destructible in 3.0, so people can blow them up to get in. But you'll probably notice them coming in then. In 3.1 and onwards, expect more levels of being able to allow people to come into your ships with codes, like keypads. Maybe there'll be scanners that go, is this person, great, they're allowed in these doors, they're allowed to use these systems. You'll be able to set that sort of policy. No, the free concierge gun is just going to be aesthetic. Just going to be an aesthetic weapon, almost certainly. It's not going to be pay to win or fucking anything like that. Concierge get an occasional newsletter. They're going to be getting the top hat and monocle. They're going to be getting this hanger flare and stuff, or flare, which probably will be wearable at some point, and Radagast whiskey flare, as well as a special Arclight special edition pistol thing. How do you think they will deal with massive fuel consumption on capital ships and the refuel cost? I don't know. It will be expensive to maintain. Capital ships are a big issue because you need to be able to make money in them, and they're going to be costly to maintain. So we don't know. I doubt CIG 100% know those mechanics yet, because they need to be fleshed out and balanced. Oh my god, the new walking and the new animation stuff they showed at CitizenCon was the second best thing they showed after Procedural Cities, definitely. And then the talk about base building was pretty cool. But yeah, the procedurally generated animations based on what terrain your guy's walking over. It could do little hop skips and stuff. It aligns his feet to the floor, your body deforms to that. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. I may shave, but would probably do it for charity or something if I do shave. I need to shave whenever I get my head scanned, hopefully, as well. I need to shave my head as well, because I'm getting like an old man now. Any other questions? Because if there's no more questions, or no one wants to chuck money at me, then I'm going to go to eat, because I'm fucking hungry. I really enjoyed CitizenCon. It was a shame I couldn't go. Thank you for all the fucking support and love I've been getting from all you guys. When do you think there's going to be a full game release? So I'm thinking beta for Star Citizen late 2019. Possibly a full release in 2020. For Star Citizen. Squadron 42 significantly before that. I think Andy Serkis accidentally slipped. They said it was coming out in 2018. If someone is breaking into my ship, can I go and take a nap and despawn my ship by logging out? No, so there's going to be stuff preventing that sort of game. You might be able to do that in like 3.0, because the edge cases haven't been solved. But no, the intention will not allow you to do that. Your ship will still be there. If someone is hiding on your ship, they'll be able to fuck around with it. Although they will need to flesh out the mechanics and things for that. Because it might warn you that there's something nearby, or the ship hasn't despawned. Why is that? Whatever, so. When Star Citizen is released with all the star systems in place, will there be enough space to... Yes. There's going to be enough space to establish your own home on one of the fucking moons for everyone. So there's so much space in the Star Citizen universe, it's insane. Like, on one of those fucking moons, they've got Yela, Selen, Daymar. There's probably enough for every Star Citizen player to build their own outpost. Easily. Fact. Yeah, so different size missiles and things have different systems, different tracking methods. Missiles in general are going to be better at reacquiring a lock. But I don't know the exacts per missile. It's going to be a per missile thing rather than per size. Documents on your live stream count towards your monthly YouTube. Do comments on your live stream count towards your monthly YouTube giveaway? They do once the video's gone out. So no, these comments do not count, because I don't think the system grabs these comments. Once it's actually a video, they will. It's a good thing. I will actually put that in the description. Thank you very much, Pete the Fat Dog. That's a good thing to actually write down. This comments during a live stream do not count towards the monthly giveaway, even if you are a subscriber. They said they were doing a quarterly releases. Yes. The idea is that every quarter they will release whatever they've got that can be added to the game. They will not hold back content. That's the idea. I don't know exactly if it's going to be 3.1 or 3.0 or 3.0.0, whatever, but that's the intention. Any ship can be a stealthy ship. You can make any ship more stealthy by managing your systems. So it's literally how much power and heat you're generating. So you can turn all your systems off to be pretty stealthy. You can have stealthier components in your ship. You can add sub-components to those components to make them more stealthy. You can have a stealthier hull. People will always be able to see your hull if they see you. They see your ship. That's effectively, I've detected your ship because I've seen your cross-section with my eyes. But that's going to be quite hard in the vastness of space, especially if you're coming from a direction they don't have a viewport of. But yes, any ship can be stealthy. Squadron 42 will give you benefits in Star Citizen, yes. Can give you citizenship. It's going to be able to give you reputation and contacts with some people, and that sort of stuff. So it will affect Star Citizen. We just don't know all of it. Good job with your question, Simon. Do you think we'll be able to fly underwater? I don't know. I'm expecting boats, and I am sort of expecting submarines now. I'm going to eat. I don't fucking know, mate. That's a nice name, though. Exploding Sheep Incorporated Entertainment Inc. Entertainment. Nice name. I don't know. I'm not sure what food I've got in the house. I do have a katsu curry. It will take like half an hour. And normally I have like lots of Chinese food that I prepared from like a couple of days before ready. I'm literally, I think I just finished all of my food, so I'll have to rummage around. I believe that the discount code, which is New Beginnings, all in caps on the brochure, was $5 off a ship. I hope it wasn't $5 off anything, because I thought you could buy the... I just bought the... We'll see if it's $5 off anything in a minute. I'll try and buy some flair or something. Oh... we'll be looking at, once 3.0 comes out, I'll be going through budget PCs, expensive PCs, diminishing returns PCs, extreme PCs, and that sort of stuff. At the moment, you could spend $300 on a PC to get Star Citizen working, buy an old T3500 Dell server workstation, and then chuck a 1060 or something in it, or RX 480 or something, and you have a great PC that can run Star Citizen pretty well in the short term. There's going to be loads of optimizations and stuff coming with Star Citizen in the future, so I am going to fuck off and go eat. That's a good point. Will the colony ship be able to build manufacturing facilities to be able to build like missiles and weapons and stuff? Maybe? I don't know. I think possibly small scale manufacturer might be a possibility. I just don't know if ship manufacturer will be. The Octane, it's new technology. It is like top end enthusiast. That's why it's super expensive. It's newly coming out. It's you're paying for early adopters, and the fact it's got like triple the amount of lifespan as a normal SSD or M2 drive. There's no difference between the $750 and the $850 Pioneer, other than the Warbond one is with real cash and effectively tradable, and the $851 is bought with store credit. They're not doing a PvE, PvP slider. There will be areas in space which are geared towards PvP, and other areas that are a billion times more secure, with UE patrols and stuff that pirates won't be able to get into effectively. There's always a potential that someone could sneak aboard your ship and stay there for 3 weeks, camping under somewhere that you don't know. It's unlikely, but there's always the potential for PvP or NPCs to do that. So just bear that in mind. No PvP, PvE slider, but definitely areas which are pretty safe, like almost entirely safe. So you're going to either need to pay for a colony ship to base build for you, or to have that base building ship yourself, or it's possible that you might be able to contract NPCs to base build for you as well. But yeah, I was super impressed with CitizenCon. Please check out my my playlist, which I've got my gaming cut of CitizenCon in there, as well as my summary for CitizenCon, which I'll get loads more videos done throughout the week. I'm away on Tuesday. I'm working on Tuesday at Oxfam. So I'll try and get some cool stuff out tomorrow. And then whatever else we get throughout the week. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Fucking love you. The discount code is New Beginnings, all in caps. I believe it gives you $5 off a ship. I think it might have to be an Aurora or something. But I haven't checked to see what it actually works on. So thank you very much. I will. Thank you very much for watching. We need to go and host someone, obviously, because let's fucking share that love, mate. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the subs as well. Like, Jesus Christ, thank you so much. Because let's fucking share that love. No, well, you know, it's important to ask the questions. Let's fucking go host this guy. Do I know this guy?
Or Brim called you Maximus before, so.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a host. Why the fuck not?
Mac has an iPhone.
But thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for all the love. Yeah, we'll be doing Star Citizen Talk like once or twice a week at least.
And it's really cool.
I think Nubified's going to get the podcast up, the Redacted special. It's too big for, I can't. It's fucking super long and it's billion gigs. So he's handling that. But thanks, guys. If you've got any questions, you can send them to contact@BoredGamer. Contact@BoredGamer.co.uk. If you want your org to be featured for a month, or to go into the Star Citizen Spotlight, jump onto my Discord and go into the org Spotlight thread and drop your details of your org in there. I will check it out. Anything else that we need to talk about before I disappear? I don't think so. But yeah, if you've got any feedback or anything for me, you can drop that at that email address, contact@boredgamer.co.uk. Thank you so much, guys. I fucking love you. I get to play Star Citizen and shit for a living. It's amazing. Love you. Oh, it's hit. We're going hit.